What's up, guys? Lucky Locks here. Welcome back to another video. Not MMA today. First ever not MMA video on this channel. Running through some Rotterdam Open, actually. Headed on over to the Netherlands, man. Gonna talk some tennis. Got my brother Beantown Bryden with me here. 10K DraftKings tennis winner in the house. So this is either gonna be the most tremendous tennis betting show ever, or it's gonna be probably a train wreck. So we'll see. But yeah, we're not going to torture you guys with too much more intro. Let's just get right into the matches here. So, first one we're going to talk about is Mackenzie McDonald minus 190 favorite against Nicolas Basilashvili, plus 160 underdog. McDonald 56 in the world, Basilashvili 21st in the world, and yeah, McDonald's a minus 190 favorite over Basilashvili here. I'm not really sure I agree with that line. A lot of influence probably from the fact that Nick is 0-4 this year. But, he's the more experienced guy, physically bigger, ranked on the cusp of the top 20, 0-4 this year. But the matchups were really tough, top caliber guys. I mean, Sissy Pop, we got
Murray
Schwartzman in
twice.
there. Yeah, Murray two
Twice.
times. Yeah, Sydney
Lost to
International.
him both times.
And
Yeah.
again at the Australian Open. So 4 L's, man. But, I mean, yeah, that last loss at the Sud de France was pretty disappointing. But, those are going to happen every now and again. So I kind of understand why the books like McDonald here. I just think the line is way too wide. And actually
Basil is the more talented of the two as well. Mackey, he's got past the first round in his last few tournaments, but nothing farther than that. So he hasn't really cracked into the fucking...
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, I played Basilashvili at plus 159. I just think this line should be closer. I mean, it looks like it's going the other way, plus
It
160
should be a
now.
pick 'em, man. I think
Yeah, I
it
think it should be
to
way closer. And like statistically, Basil's playing his best tennis on hards, 48.4 win percentage there. McDonald's only 41.8, and Basil has a way larger sample size by 82 matches. So I'm actually picking Basilashvili for the upset. How you feel about this one?
I think that's the value side too. The Basil.
Big time.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got we're going with David Goffin plus 185 against Alex de Minaur minus 225. And this is kind of an interesting matchup. De Minaur is playing great tennis this season. He's 5-2, younger, fresher guy, 2-0 against Goffin in previous meetings. So obviously that's going to impact the line a little bit. Played pretty well at the Australian Open. Got eliminated by Yannick Sinner in the 4th round. Can't really complain about that too much. I mean, Goffin just played in the Sud de France a few days ago. Lost to Manarino in the round of 16. Coming in against a rested opponent, and de Minaur has already beaten him twice. Minus 225, not really a number I'm running to play, but I do think that de Minaur gets the job done. What are you thinking about this one?
I think it should be a straight 2-set de Minaur win here.
Easy, yeah.
Goffin's an old guy. He's on the decline. He's older. He's on the decline. I think de Minaur is 23 years old. He started off strong in the Aussie Open, 4th round, like you said. And he beat Berrettini earlier in the year, and he beat Ugo, who
big wins.
He's ranked good, but yeah. And then Goffin, he retired against Murray this year already, so his health has been a problem. Lost in the first round in straight sets to Dan Evans, 6-4, 6-2, and he got bounced by Mr. Wee Man, me-looking character Manarino too.
So the Wee character, man. We got Wii tennis characters on the tour nowadays. So yeah, both of us on the same side there, liking de Minaur.
It should be de Minaur pretty easly, I would say.
You think so?
Yeah, I'd say straight sets.
Straight Bryden guarantee right there. All right, let's have a look at Hubert Hurkacz minus 480. Joe Wilfried Tsonga, absolute legend, plus 360. And man, at one point it would have been pretty rare to see Tsonga as a plus 360 dog. But, he's 36 years old now, still hitting the ball pretty well, but definitely not the player he once was at this stage. Playing another pretty heavy hitter in Hurkacz. It's a big guy, 4-2 this year. Lost to Manarino in the 2nd round, man. And yeah, I love Tsonga, but watching him in some of the challenger events this year, like, I'm not very confident that he gets past Hurkacz from the wild card entry here. Am I going to lay minus 480 on Hubert? Definitely not, but I am going to pick him to win. What are you thinking here?
Yes, if Tsonga, his best surface is indoor hard too, I believe, but that doesn't really matter nowadays. What is he, like 36 years old? 36. He hasn't even been winning challengers. Hurkacz is ranked 11th in the world. He started off disappointing. He lost to Manarino too, actually. He was actually been on fire. But Song got 1 win in Montpellier. Before was 2-4, but before that, he's won 2 of his last 4. But before that, he went seven games without a win. So it's pretty dried out for him. Should be Herkash, number 11, should be getting back on the horse here after this boring start. But
Listen,
yeah,
man, I tend
I wouldn't
to
lay
agree with you
the
there.
point. I wouldn't lay the points on that though.
Can't argue with you there. All right, now we got somebody near and dear to my heart, man. We got Cam Norrie, one of my favorite players, coming up against Hugo Humbert. And Cam Norrie is your minus 141 favorite. Come back on
I
Humbert
really
is
like
plus
this
120.
line. It
Yeah,
actually
you start us off on this one.
the line also moved. It was Nori was in American terms, or sorry, decimal terms. He was 1.667. He opened, and now he's moved to 1.72. So I don't know what that line movement is. Nori on a 5-match losing streak, but take that with a grain of salt. He played Zverev, Felix, and the up and coming Fritz, and the up and coming Korda too in the Aussie Open. I believe it was. Who
Yep.
Korda's really good on hard, yeah. And Hugo just choked it against Gasquet. Gasquet. He played him twice, I believe, and lost both times. He's winless in his last 4, but he did play Demon and Berrettini as well. He even played a challenger recently, and he lost to Halley's. So I mean, Humbert, I don't think he's as good as his ranking of 40 in the world is. I think he should be closer to 70 or so.
Yeah, you notice we got a big weight advantage on the side of Norrie too, man. Some heavy shots coming down from the other side of
They're
the
both
court.
lefties as well, actually.
Yeah, they are. Good point. Yeah, I feel like the line is a little closer than what we might expect. I mean, Norrie is 0-1 in the head-to-head with Humbert because he beat him in 2019. But like you said, Norrie didn't have a great start to the year, but really tough competition. Kind of the same thing that we said about Basel. And yeah, I'm with you, man. I think he rights the ship here. He's had more time off. Humbert just played in the Stade de France in Montpellier. I think both are good on the hard courts, but I think Norrie is just a little bit better, a little more pop on those ground strokes.
More
So actually,
well-rounded, way
yeah,
more
man,
well-rounded for sure.
I
And
played
he's
him.
ranked 13th in the world too. So
Yeah. I played him -1 game spread at -130. I kind of like that spot. You have anything on this
I
one?
like that is a good spread. I actually parlayed, doubled up. I don't do too big of parlays, but I did Nori, and I played that with Demonair for I think it was like plus 120, something around there. I laid 100 bones on that.
Good number. All
Yeah,
right,
we're
both of
thinking
us
that's a
going with
guy.
Cam Norrie, man. Love to see it. Moving on. Stefano Tsitsipas, Alejandro Davidovich Fokina.
The semifinals of the Aussie Open choker.
Interesting matchup here, man. Tsitsipas, number 1 seed in the tourney. These guys have played each other once. Tsitsipas beat him. Tsitsipas in pretty good form, 6-2 on the year. Went to the semifinal of the Australian Open, lost to Medvedev in 4, but had some good performances there. Straight set win over Sinner. I think that Tsitsipas gets the job done here. Probably relatively straightforward. Excellent player, 66% win percentage, 63.8 on hards versus 52.2 for Fokina. I think probably both these guys would rather be on clay here, but I got to go with Tsitsipas. I mean, -575. I don't love, but I'm still not going to take a shot on the dog at Fokina even at +400 here because I just don't see him winning.
No, you wouldn't. I don't think there's any way you wouldn't. Tsitsipas did have a wrist injury, but he looked fine coming off of that too. Obviously making it to the semis. Yeah, Fokina 1-3 on the year as well. He is a clay guy, like you said, like all Spaniards there, but he's young and I think he's 24 maybe, and he actually has been playing relatively well, but at the end of last year as well. But I don't think there's a way he beats Titty.
Yeah, be tough, man. Be tough. Be a huge upset. All right, now we got this is an interesting matchup. I know you got something to say on this, so I'll just introduce the guys and let you lead it off. We got Lloyd Harris -118, Ilya Ivashka at evens. I've seen him like a little bit, like +102, +103, some other places as well. So yeah, we got Harris 34 in the world, Ivashka 48 in the world. What do you got here?
Lloyd Harris, the white African. Nah, I don't like his game that well. Lloyd Harris is winless in his last 2. Only 2 matches in 2022 so far, so he hasn't gotten much ground under him right now. He lost to Vukic, I think it was in the Aussie Open.
Yeah, man, I got burned on that match.
Yeah, Voshka only 1 match in 2022. He lost to Mackey, but he enjoyed a good end 2021, and he won Winston Salem as well. I thought he was younger than what he is, but he's kind of bursting onto the scene since the last year. I think he's 27 now or 28.
Yeah, he's
But
27.
I started watching him. The first match I started watching him maybe a year or 2 ago. I was like, who's this guy? He was playing against Manarino indoor herds. He went and used the bathroom. Comes back, and then the judge is like, you weren't allowed to use the bathroom. You took a break. Like, you got a code penalty or whatever. Starts staz into the chair on fire. Starts losing it. He goes down a break. I think he was already down a set, and he still somehow he comes back and he wins the match against Manarino. So I mean, I watched him play there, and I thought I liked his game. He is pretty solid. He's good on hard. He's pretty decent, like all well rounded on hard, clay, all that. But I think he does get the job done against Lloyd Harris. Lloyd Harris, he can either be really good or he can be really shitty. There's no real in between with him, I find. So I think if Ivashka plays like decent game, I think he should win. As long as Harris doesn't play his top game like he does when he beat Shapovalov. What was that in the U.S. Open? I think it was. So he does have good games in him, but I like the Ivashka value here.
Back in the dog, and I'm actually going to join you on that side, man. These guys haven't met on the big show before, but they have played in a qualifier before, and Ivashka got the better of them. Two big guys that hit the ball really hard. Ivashka lost in the round of 32 with Sid difference to McKenzie, like you said. And Harris had that really disappointing loss to Vukic in the first round of the Australian Open, man. Like, kind of a bit of a layup matchup, in my opinion, for him, and he couldn't get it done. So neither guy's coming in here in a big heater. Both looking for that first ATP win of the 2022 season in the big show. And yeah, I think Ivashka should. I think he should be the favorite here, man. Like minus 125, minus 130, maybe. Both these guys
I
prefer the hard
agree.
court. Almost identical win percentage on hards. And yeah, Ivashka beat him before. I don't really know why he's the underdog here. I don't know if there's enough value for me to really play it, but I think it's a dog or pass match, and I like Ivashka here too.
Ivashka could be a good DK pick once the
100%,
DK
yeah.
lines
On
come up.
DraftKings, we'll talk
He's a
about
good one to
that
pick, yeah.
a little bit more at the end. Some guys that we're liking in the DraftKings side of things, but let's
Basel so far too would have been another one.
100%. Let's keep on pushing. We got Lorenzo Musetti plus 180, Mikael Ymer minus 213. 66 in the world for Musetti, 83 in the world for Ymer, and Ymer's straight in here with the special exemption. Two good prospects going at it in this match. Ymer performed really well at the Stade de France, defeated Moutet, Monfils, Gasquet, and his loss came to Zverev in the semifinal. Musetti, on the other hand, defeated in the first round of the Australian Open, got to the quarterfinals of that 250 in India afterwards, and now he's here against the surging Michael Ymer. So what do you got on this one?
Musetti, he started off really well at the end of last year. He was playing really well. He was up a set and a break against Djokovic at one point on clay, and then he started choking that one. He lost. I think he ultimately retired. And he just hasn't seemed the same since. He's 1-3 in 2022. I don't think he enjoys hard as much. His only win was against Vukic. Ymer is 5-3. In 2022, it took out Monfils in the Stade de France. Like, that was a big one, even though that was more so Monfils losing that one than it was Ymer winning. But like you said, yeah, the loss to Zverev, but his other loss was to Titty and then Kokkinakis in the Aussie. So you can't really make much of those games. He's 23. He's an up and comer. He's better than his brother. So I like his game for the most part too. It's pretty really well rounded. He just doesn't strike the ball hard enough. I don't find, but I think he does have enough to get past Musetti. So I kind of like the value on Ymer, to be honest.
Interesting match, man. I'm gonna side with Ymer too. Yeah, like I'm just gonna take the man in form here. I feel like the line is a little bit wide. I do see Ymer as kind of more of like a slight favorite here. I think there's a bit of value on Musetti at plus 180. Like I think it's a bit closer than that, but I just don't feel comfortable backing Musetti. So gun to my head here, I'm going with Ymer, but probably not going to have a play. All right, next we got Bernabé Zapata Morales and Botic Van de Zandschulp. My guy
I didn't see
VDZ.
the odds on that one.
Yeah, I don't have odds for this one either, but we're just gonna have to go in blind on this one. Morales did pretty well to qualify here, playing VDZ in his home country. VDZ is currently the best Dutch player in the world according to the rankings, and he played well in Australia. Got sent home in the third round by Medvedev, but I think this is a pretty favorable matchup for him. It's on hards in his home country. He's 58.6% on hards. Morales is 33. VDZ also just has a lot better top level experience. Morales was just over in India before this, got to the round of 16 of that Challenger event. But I'm going with VDZ, and I feel like this line, when it comes out, I feel like he's playable up to like minus 300, to be honest. I really like the spot for him.
That's where I would. That's where I would put him around minus 250, but I'd probably play him to minus 300 as well. He burst on the scene last year, kind of BVZ, whatever. You can't even pronounce his name. There was a clip of him, a reporter asking him how to pronounce his name. He actually made it far too in the U.S. Open last year, like third or fourth round maybe, and he lost to Medvedev. So he is on hard, which is better for him. Yeah, Bakhtin should win that one rather comfortably, I would say.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Next up, we got another one that I don't think is really going to take too much of a breakdown, man. We got Shapo coming up against Yuri Lehecka. Don't have odds for this one either. I expect Shapovalov to be a massive favorite. He's seeded fifth here. Lehecka qualified for this one. Shapo's coming off a quarterfinal appearance in the Australian Open, taking Nadal to a fifth set. Stayed up all hours of the night watching that one. I remember he's 7-2 on the year. He's playing excellent tennis. I mean, Lehecka is a solid challenger player, but to be honest, I think he gets steamrolled here. I would not be surprised to see Shapo at like minus 800 when this line comes out, to be completely honest with you. I think Shapo's going to just completely steamroll him.
Yeah, like the 20-year-old challenger, nothing really proven yet. 138 in the world. The only way he wins if Shapo beats himself, which we know he is capable of doing. So
yeah.
I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't play it unless it was minus 500 or better, because that's my rule of thumb with Shapo. You can't trust him in too much yet. He's 12th in the world. He's doing good. He's been playing good form, but like Kwan took him to 5 sets in the in the Aussie Open, so you never know with him. He beats himself sometimes, but he should win.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Being equal.
Agree with you, man. This next one, I got to play on this one, or no, I don't. Different Russian I got to play on, actually. This time we got Karen Khachanov and Alexei Papirin. This is the second time we're going to see these two guys play on the tour. Khachanov won the first time. Hard is the strongest surface for both of them. I mean, I guess you could say Khachanov is best on grass, but there's so few tournaments there that, you know, he likes the fast courts. That's what suits him. Two big boys here going to be hammering it. Papirin's newer on the scene, looks pretty promising, but, you know, Khachanov is just a bit of a different animal. I expect him to win this one. I feel like the line is reasonably fair. Minus 260.
Khachanov, I like the value. I think there is value on him. Papirin, I don't think he's very good other than his serve right now. He can't really rally at all. He's 1-4 in 2022. Only one came against Travaglia, which isn't much. Karen was 6-3 so far in 2022. More games under his belt. One of his losses came to Nadal too, where he actually played decently well against him. Stuck it out for the most part, even though it was, I believe it was a straight set loss, but. He's a good guy. He's ranked 27th in the world. I could see him up in that and coming closer to the top 20 this year. Keeps his form. I think he's decently young too. So I would
25.
back Khachanov. Yeah, I'd back Khachanov in this spot.
All right, both of us backing Khachanov here. Next up, we got absolute banger of a matchup, man. We got Alexander Bublik coming up against Andy Murray. And yeah, this should be a fun one, man. They did play Wimbledon 2017. Murray beat him, so he's up 1-0 on the head-to-head. Two of my favorites here, man. Like, how am I supposed to choose? You got Bublik coming in really hot after just putting Zverev in the pressure cooker in the final of the Sud de France. And Murray lost to Taro Daniel in the second round of the Australian Open. Like, he beats Basel in the first round and then drops that one. A little bit disappointing there, but, you know, Murray's a wild card here on paper. You know, his stats look really good, but of course, father time seems to be catching up to him a little bit. Injuries seem to be taking their toll on his body a bit. And you just get the sense it's harder and harder for him to maintain that high level of play as these tournaments roll on. But he always starts fresh. Like the first round, you know, he's always pretty solid there. I feel like this match, honestly, is lined pretty dead on. Skill for skill, I feel like Murray should be the favorite, but it's just hard to trust him at the chalk. I'm currently seeing Murray minus 148, Bublik plus 125. I'm going to tentatively pick Murray, but I'm not going to bet this one. What do you think about this match?
I would lean Murray too. I think this could be a down game for Bublik for sure. He relies on his serve a lot too, and like you said, Murray starts off strong in the tournaments and he kind of slows down. But for what it's worth, he has played 8 matches in 2022, so his legs seem to be holding somewhat good, I guess. If he's playing another match, ninth match of the year already, he's 5-3 in those matches too. Like we said, beating Basel twice. He beat Opelka too this year, who's actually been a really good up and comer with a big serve. So if you're beating Opelka with a big serve on hard, then you'll probably beat Bublik, I say, too, in the first round on hard. So I would lean Murray as well.
Sounds like a plan. All right, next up, this is another one I don't have odds for. Igor Gerasimov, Felix Auger-Aliassime. They've played each other 3 times on the tour. Felix won every single time. 9 in the world versus 104 in the world. Felix is seeded number 3 here. Igor qualified in. Gerasimov, he has a good serve. He's a good hard player. I just feel like Felix is just completely on another level. I mean, coming off a quarterfinal appearance in the Australian Open, very few players on the tour can hit out of the backcourt with Felix, and I do really believe that. I think he's a special player. And I think that, Felix minus 400 would be pretty justified here. I feel like honestly we might even see it wider than that.
Minus 500, I think probably will open
Yeah, I feel
around,
like it will be. I don't know if I'm going to play it above minus 400, but I could definitely see it being at minus 500, minus 600. I think the book is going to really like Felix. What do you got on this match?
I don't see him. Yeah, like the Titty Paw game kind of. I don't see him losing this game. He doesn't really beat himself as much anymore as he does when he gets farther into the tournaments, like we saw with Medvedev, where he just choked it. He's going to be hungry after that. He still doesn't have a title, I don't believe, but this could be one where he gets one of his first ones. The only other stiff competition would be Rublev, who we haven't mentioned yet. Titty Paws and Shapo, I would say, would be the only ones that may be able to I don't know about Hurkacz either, but I would lean Felix in a few of those games for sure. So I think he does win this one pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be too much trouble. Moving on. This is the one I was talking about. I got to play on. Aslan Karatsev minus 136 against Tallon Griekspoor plus 115.
I'm interested to see what your play is here.
Yeah, interesting, man. Karatsev 15 in the world, Griekspoor 62 in the world. And yeah, right off the top, I'll say I think this line should be a little bit wider. They have played 2 times in non-tour events. Both of them were on clay. And they split those matches, 1-1. Meeting here on hards, it's the best surface for both. And man, I just think Karatsev is better. He's 6-1 with a title on the tour so far this year. Won the Sydney International over Murray in the finals. He was the runner-up to Elias Ymer in India in the Challenger a few days ago.
The worst Ymer.
The worst one of the two. Griekspoor has been really solid this year too, but I mean, I don't know if that's enough to make me think that this line should be as close as it is. I played Karatsev -1 in the game spread at -120, and honestly, man, Karatsev -136. I think you could put him at -200. You agree with me or disagree here?
I think it's lined pretty fairly, honestly. Karatsev had a great run in Sydney. He just lost the worst Ymer, like I said. He is 6-2 on the year in 2022. Oh no, that's Griekspoor is 6-2 in 2022, I believe. And he's come onto the scene. He's young. He had a 22-match win streak in the Challenger Tours, actually. He has wins against Fabio Fognini, Popperina, and Kopfer this year. He actually took Pablo to 5 sets as well, so he is good. He's up and coming. Karatsev, he has his moments, but where he is the more better player for sure, but he'll have moments where it's like, what the hell are you doing? And he'll take it to 3 sets or 5 sets when he shouldn't be. He has talked that he wants to get into the top 10 this year, and I don't know if that's a possibility. I was actually kind of surprised he's ranked 15th right now. I would have thought he was closer to 20, but I think it is pretty evenly matched. I like Karatsev though if I had to pick, but I don't think I would play this one.
Sounds good. I'll be the one with the lone play here. All right, now this is an interesting one. Filip Krajinovic, Martin Fucsovics. Krajinovic is -134 on the money line. Fucsovics is bringing back +114. And Kraj is up 1-0 on the head-to-head, but he's actually up 3-zip since they've played 2 other times in Challenger and qualifier events. Kraj won both of those as well. Those 2 were on clay. The one on the main ATP tour was on hard. And Kraj is the -134 favorite here. For some reason, man, I just can't get to the window on him. I still think it's a close match. Kraj has performed, slightly better this year, coming in 2-2. While Fucsovics comes in 1-3. Kraj was in the semifinal of the Sud de France, and Fucsovics hasn't played since the Australian Open. Both guys lost in the first round there. I'm going to slightly side with Krajinovic, but man, I feel like this is a line I really should like, but I just can't get there on it. What do you think about this one?
I mean, you are reversed because I like the Kraj line here instead of the carrots of if I had to pick between these two. Yeah, Kraj 5-3 on the year in 2022. He lost to Pablo, Diego, and Bublik, which are all losses that like you can
Bublik's the
give
best
him.
player on the tour, so I mean you can't go wrong there.
And then he won all his games he was supposed to, so to speak. And then Fuchs is 1-3 on the year. Only one was against Boktik, which is a good win. Lost games he should have probably won. Dusan, Mute, Gerasimov. So I mean, Fuchs, he's like another one. He's like Lloyd Harris, where he can play really good, brilliant tennis, or he'll shit the bed. He's kind of just like a wishy-washy, like middle of the pack guy. I don't really. Same with Kraj, though. He's a middle of the pack guy, but I like him in his form. I think he should be. He is a deserved favorite here, and I would play Kraj. I see value on that.
Man, I might have to join you there because it definitely is a good number, especially when you look into the head-to-head stuff. Moving on, we got
Five
Arthur
and 13.
Rinderknech and Soon Woo Kwon. Rinderknech, the underdog, plus 106. Kwon, the favorite, at minus 125. These guys have played before, and Arthur got the better of Kwon there. He's been pretty solid this year so far, 6-3. Kwon has been steady, 3-3. Man, Arthur went to the final in Adelaide. He actually beat Kwon in the round of 16 in that tournament, so that is the one win that he has. Kind of nice to see that that's kind of recent. Sometimes you look and it was like back in 2016 or something. So, I mean, I think Arthur's going to have all the power. Kwon's going to have the finesse game, the good lateral movement. He's quick. But I think Arthur should be the slight favorite here. Yet he is the dog. I'm not really sure if I'd get a bet down here, but I do think he's the value side. I feel like he should probably be like minus 120. What are you thinking about this match?
I think, yeah, whoever's not favored here should be the one, the value side. If Quan was the one that was at plus 100, then I would play Quan. If it was Render, then I would play him. Arthur 6-4, 2022. He beat Quan, like you said, in Adelaide this year, and they were both on their game. Render Nash had 18 aces and no double faults. Quan had 4 aces and no double faults, so they were both serving well enough. First serve percentages were pretty good too. Quan's 4-4 on the year though, in 22. He's won the first round of every match he's played in all the tourneys. So he wins the first one, then he gets out in the second round. So he's not going far, but that if you're playing it based on those stats, you take Quan to win the first round here. And he took Shabo to 5 sets, like we said earlier. So it is. I say it's a toss-up. This is probably the biggest toss-up on the slate of the first round, I would say.
Close match for sure. All right, last one we got before we'll get into some best bets and talk about some DraftKings potential. We got a razor thin match, man. Like I'm not sure how we're even going to choose who's going to win here. We got Henry Laaksonen coming up against Andre Rublev. Really close match on paper, dude. Yeah, so there's no odds for this one. Laaksonen just cashed for me the other day, so like I feel bad that I'm gonna talk a little trash about him, but I'm really not counting on him coming through here. I think Rublev should. I think he should be around like minus 400. I know he's going to be way wider than that. Rublev just should be the much better all-around guy here. I mean, the guy's 62.5% on hards, which is pretty damn good. Laaksonen is 41.4. So, like, I feel like this is just a pretty elementary win for Rublev. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, another straightforward win here. Rublev has had issues recently, I'd say, but that's with the power guys and like Silic. He lost to Silic. Rublev, he just gets into rallies that like he shouldn't be. He should be winning with winners and forehands, but his forehand isn't as strong as I'd like to see it yet. But he still rallies comfortably and has a great backhand, so should be a straightforward win, I say for sure. Ranked 7. He's not ranked 7th for no reason.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. All right, so that's going to do it for the preview round of 32. And let's get into some best bets. So what are you liking just from a straight up betting standpoint? What are you playing? Any of that stuff, and then we'll talk some DraftKings after.
We're liking de Minaur value at 1.44. We think that's a straightforward win. We like Nor. I think Nori's our best bet, honestly, at the value that we're getting on him against Ugo. Was surprised at that line. We like Ivashka at plus money, so that's good plus money single bet to make. Karen was a good value bet, I'd say too, even though it's kind of steep, but like that should be a straightforward win, like we said. We won't play Murray. It's too steep there. Like, you like Carrot, I like Cratch, but I wouldn't play those. The only ones I would play, only ones I like are enough to play are Ivashka straight up, and then I like Nori, Karen, and what was the other one? Demonar. That's the only ones I like enough to play.
All right, for me, I'm liking Basil at like pretty much plus 160. I feel like that's value there. Just a little bit of a wide line. I'm liking Cam Nori. I got the -1 game spread there, -130. I think that's a solid spot. I like Ivashka. I don't have a play there yet. Looking at some of these other guys here. We talked about most of these. Karatsev. No, you're not as high on that one. I like the -1 game spread at -120 there. Kraj, I also think that's a pretty solid play. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Those are mine. And now let's think about some DraftKings. You got a first place 10K winner in the building, so I'm gonna kick it to you. So give me some low key spots on DraftKings that are gonna have low ownership and come through for the boys.
Well, hopefully the DraftKings doesn't put the WTA in with the the men's tournament here. Hopefully there should be enough games where they just let us have that at the men's. Because WTA, you just gotta pick two sleepers there that no one's ever heard of, and they'll probably beat the Rising Stars with fucking 50-50 chance. We like Basil at he's at 2.5. He's at what plus what?
Plus 160 right now, 2.6.
160, yeah. So he should be cheap. We would like Basil in that one because we think that's a toss up. Like Hercash and Songa, you wouldn't touch that match. We like Nori. He'll be a little bit expensive, but we like him. We like Ivashka as a value play for sure. If you have money left over, you're gonna want to take Titty. He'll win straight against Fokina. He won't make any double faults. If we need another underdog that you need to just put money on, it wouldn't be Songa. It wouldn't be Goffin. It would be Ivashka, and you might play Musetti as an underdog against Niemer.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad spot. He'll be pretty cheap, I'd assume, plus 180.
Yeah. You're not playing
All right.
unless you wanted to take the Lecca and hope that Chapo has a bad game.
Oh my god, Shab would have to double fault like 40 times to lose that one, I feel like.
You're not taking the value on him though with he'd be too steep to play.
Oh yeah, way too steep. All right, well, that's probably going to wrap it up. Gone for about 30 minutes there, so that's going to do it for the first episode. Some tennis talks, man. Maybe we'll link up again, do the round of 16 after this one's over, and talk about some more matches. Much appreciated joining me on here.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite to win this tournament?
To win the whole tournament? Oh,
yeah.
man. You go first. I got to look.
I'm gonna look at the odds right now, but I think I would lean Titty. I'd lean this is Titty's tournament to win. If you were looking at value, you might take Felix as his first tourney to win too.
Yeah, man.
He
I was
could
thinking
get it down
about
here
Felix.
as his first tourney.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head, man. I feel like Tsitsipas obviously is going to be the favorite, but I definitely feel like Felix could pull through, man. You know, I'm a big Felix guy, so
I don't think Rublev's in enough form to win this one either. So it really comes down only down to like 3 picks maybe. I don't think Hercash is in form enough to win this one either. So you go Titty or Felix would be my 2 best bets to win it all.
Sounds like a plan. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Appreciate you for coming on, brother. Always appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.